Okay, so back at the Plymouth here, and got it all welded out. Got the plug welds all done. One thing I forgot to mention, talking about these plug welds, is I stacked these plug welds on top of the other ones, the ones I did for the inner structure. I just feel that that's the way to do it, and that's probably the way it would have been done in the factory. Those three pieces would have been sandwiched together, and then the whole thing would have been spot welded together, right through. Um, Stronger that way. That way you don't have these plugs pulling on metal that isn't tied down. And I don't like to put filler on edges of door openings, so I built this up a little bit so I can grind that down nice to won't have to have any filler right on the edge. Anyways, so I'm gonna get this all cleaned up and looking good. And then I've got to make this piece that goes in here, and then I'm gonna try and paint the inside of this like I talked about earlier. Gonna rig up some kind of a deal. I found an old siphon sprayer that was made for that purpose. I just got to rig up a wand for it, so hopefully that works out. Alright, I've got this all ground down, except for that little plug weld there, but I can't get at that with my grinder, so I have to use a die grinder, and that means turn on the air compressor, and I'm not going to do that right now because it's too late. I want to make it noisy. This all turned out pretty nice. I got a hard edge there with the weld. Smooth that out. So this area here, you can see that it's pretty straight all through here. Bit of a high spot there, but overall, like this way, you can see a little bit of light getting through there. So this whole weld area caved in a little bit. I'm gonna say the weld, right on the weld line, it's about the most it is maybe a 1/16 of an inch. So I'm not gonna keep trying to smooth out these transitions on the weld here. I'm just going to take a wire wheel and clean all this, I guess you want to call it weld scale or oxidized layer here. I'll just go along with the wire wheel, clean that all out. And then I'm going to just skim this whole area with a little bit of filler. I don't want to, it's not oil canning. It's nice and straight in this direction. So I don't want to mess around with it. I just think if I start tugging on this, putting studs on here and tugging on this, I'm going to end up with some oil canning issues, and this is the lesser of two evils, just a thin layer of filler on there. I'll put a pass of short strand fiberglass on there first. That'll get it built out pretty much to where it needs to be, and then I'll skim over that with some feather fill body filler, and then it'll look fine. So the next step is, like I said, getting this all painted inside and capping that off. I'm just working on developing this patch, the end of the rocker, and so I've got it I've got it fitting up here. You can see that. I've also got it fitted here, but I don't have it fitted in this area here. So I don't have x-ray vision, so I can't see where this panel ends underneath there. So I've made this little tool just out of a piece of scrap. And so I can slide it in here, find that edge, and then just hold my thumb on there. Pull it out to it stops. Find the edge, and then just hold this on here, and then I can make a mark there. And so I'll probably pull this back a little bit just to get, so I don't overcut it. But it's, you just simply just hook it in there, hook it, get it out, bring it onto the surface, make your mark. Now you can see how that panel's fitting. You can see the marks I made with my little gauge. What happened to it here? So I went in and held this, hooked it onto the edge, and then transferred the marks onto the piece. Made some marks. Connected the dots and cut along the line. You can see how I cut a little bit outside my marks. It's a good thing because it would have been too short. What I did is I actually cut about this far out from my marks, and then I could see in there, and then I just kept cutting slivers off until it fit nice. And so I've left a little piece of the original body on this corner. Just it holds the patch out, so when I'm welding it, it'll be a lot easier. And then when I come up to here, I can just tap this down. That little piece will fold in a little bit. It'll be fine. And then I can finish welding this out. I'll have to trim this corner off a little bit here, or maybe not. Anyways, it looks good. I did put this little depression in here with the bead roller. It isn't exactly the same as this, but I think this is just here to help hold the gasket in place. Maybe they intended to put some sealer in there at some point, but didn't. Anyways, it's close to the original. So now I got that done. I can take my paper template that I'm storing on the back bumper here. Put it back on the car, and I can locate that last hole. You're gonna be able to watch me do this. There we go. So now I'll take this back on here, and it's got these spots where these holes are. So I'll just align that. Just gonna poke a hole in these, in the middle of these to make it easier to locate. These two top holes are lined up now. This is ripped out here, so I'll just fold that over. And I can feel along here the original edge. Two top holes are lined up. That looks like that was the original edge of the fender right there. So I'll just make this, mark this here now. And that's where that next hole's got to go. I won't drill that. I'll test fit the fender first before actually, I don't have to because that's all gone off the fender if it's not exactly in the factory location. It won't be so bad considering I'm rebuilt. I have to rebuild the fender there anyways, but I guess down the road if somebody was to replace the fender, that may not line up exactly, but I think they could probably manage to get it installed without too much difficulty.